Welcome back to the Culture of Currency, where we're on month 6 of this 2024 year, which means we need to go over all the coins that we've purchased up to this date. And I'm going to go a step further, as you saw in my generic bullion video not too long ago, is that I'm going to rank them from least favorite to favorite based on where we're at. I will say that even before we get to that, I wanted to thank everybody who sent me gifts this year. If you don't remember, somebody sent me this in the mail. This is a Celtic animal series from the nation of Chad. Beautiful, beautiful silver piece. Still need to make a video on that. And then I got a viewer who sent me these two beauties. This is going to be not completely 999 silver, but it's 925, I believe, is the purity. We have two flamingo here from Bahamas, and we have Poseidon with a mahi-mahi type dolphin here from Barbados. Just gorgeous little pieces there. And then we had a viewer send me this, which is a vial of his manufactured silver crystals. I need to make a video. He sent me a bit more detailed version of how he makes this stuff. But if you'd like to buy a vial of silver crystals or a bag of silver crystals, depending on how much you want to buy, let me know and I will get you in touch with him. Awesome. So we're going to get into it. So we had, I think it was 21-ish ounces that we bought so far this year, because I only spend $100 a month. Remember that, so that everything you see, you know you can replicate. But this is just this year so far. And then I have $100 in the more generic varieties surrounding the table, but that's not what we're looking at today. So the thing we're going to get into first are the things that were under an ounce. And the first one is right here. This is from the Austrian mint, as you can see. And what it is a absolutely gorgeous forget-me-not flower right here. That's very important, historically speaking, for many reasons. But basically, it was one that with $100 I couldn't get another full ounce, and so this was one that I got. And it's obviously not a full ounce, but it's beautiful and it's low mintage, and it's already selling for more than I paid for it, which is great because it was pretty high on the premium list. But we'll get to all of that kind of stuff when we get to our Q2 findings. Our next was a half ounce, and that is going to be, if I can find it here. Where is he? There he is. Half ounce. This is Canadian. I'll go ahead and start the zooming process here. Our camera's been fickle of late, and I want to make sure that you get the best view possible. This is a half ounce. It's an older coin, and it is an eagle of some sort. It kind of looks like a bald eagle, but it is a half ounce of silver, and it is pretty. 2016 it says. So that's going to be the next one, and then after that we have a half ounce, if I can find it. So this is currently my favorite of the under 1 ounce varieties that I've bought this year. You can see right here we have Australia, the Queen. It says 50 cents here. However, it's obviously worth a bit more than that, being a half ounce. And here is a hammerhead, the great hammerhead, which can turn on a dime and actually can prey on dolphins because of that skill. It's one of the only sharks that can do that. Very, very fast turner. And that is your fun fact of the day. All right, coming in at number 18. Next, if I can find it, here it is, from the nation of New Zealand / Middle Earth. We have a Boromir coin, which is of the Lord of the Rings series. So this is now my 1 ounce coin varieties. So I'm ranking those, and this one comes in last. And that should show you the wealth of amazing silver that we pulled this year, because this is a fantastic coin and I absolutely love it. And I have videos over almost all of these. There are a couple that I may not have done yet, but most of these already have a in-depth video where you can learn about the history, the culture, all that kind of stuff. So here's Mr. Boromir, and he's holding the shards of Narsil here, the sword that needed to be reforged to unite the kings of man. It was the sword that cuts the ring from Sauron's finger. But even so, in making the video on this coin, we talked about this lad here, Boromir, and how he identifies so much with many of us here in the human realm. Next, we go to the British Antarctic territories, and we have a set of emperor penguins. This was a really cool video to make, as I got to learn a lot about how the land is divided up very oddly in pizza wedges for different nations' claim in Antarctica. There's Charles on that side. Beautiful coin, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. But it was an interesting one to make, and the reason why it's a little bit low is it's just lacking in the theme and elements. We have beautiful penguins here, but there's really nothing else, which I guess in Antarctica that might be more accurate than... Now that I think about it, they really don't have anything else, do they? All right, up next, we go to an island in the Atlantic. This is St. Helena, which is a gorgeous coin. Gorgeous coin. This is coming in at number 16, by the way, which tells you we have quite a bit to go to. And we have the macaque. It's an outstanding coin. This is in their Cash Animal series, where they highlight the history of England and India and their history together. I don't know the best way to put that, because some people may get offended, but it highlights animals, the fauna of their time together, and this is a lion-tailed macaque. And we go to a brand new one I just picked up, number 15 on the list, right here. It is from an African nation. This is going to be Congo. In fact, it's the Democratic Republic of Congo instead of just the Republic of Congo, which is confusing in its own right, but I have videos that go a bit more in-depth of both countries if you're interested. I believe my silverback coin from the Republic of Congo would be one you'd want to watch. But here we are. And I am not sure yet on the pronunciation. I think it's Dunkleosteus, but I'm not positive. But it is basically a scary fish that lived over 300 million years ago with plated armor for its head and sharpened armor for its teeth. But this bad boy that would easily just snap you up lived, and it was over 30 feet. Can you imagine a world where you're just out there trying to put your dogs in the water, and this thing comes up and just rips you apart? That's not a world I want to live in. It's definitely a scary place. In fact, whether you're on the beach or in the woods, there's really not a good place to be back then, because everything will try to kill you in some way, just like most of the species in Australia, but that's a topic for another video. All right, number 14, we're going to go to a Caribbean nation. That's not him. Here he is. The island of Barbados, which in my humble opinion is going to be the best island in the Caribbean for silver coins. They have such a wide variety, most of them low mintage, high quality, coming out of the Scottsdale Mint in Arizona, and they are just fantastic, gorgeous. That is their coat of arms, as you can see, but here we have the green monkey, which was actually brought over on slave ships from Africa, and now they have a localized population, and they've become a bit of a iconic symbol of the area, which is kind of like the Brumby is for Australia, right? You have a animal that was brought over by European means, and now has local populations, and some people are like, hey, that destroys local livestock and local flora and fauna, and it makes it harder for other native animals to compete. And then the other side says, well, they've been here for a long time, and they're part of our history and culture, so don't touch them. So the green monkey can kind of be in that category. Pretty cool coin. Next, we have another coin that I just got recently. This is from the island of Tokelau, which is in the Pacific. Beautiful cultural island. As you can see, you have the tribal print here, Polynesian style. And on the back, here's our bannerfish. What a pretty thing this is, the Lau Fao. So this is in a series of native fish. This one has a unique scaled background, but still maintains the print of the native people. Just think it is gorgeous, and I love reef fish, and so this is a cool one to pick up. Now we get to number 12, which we're going to go back to the Caribbean, to Barbados. I was Barbados heavy early this year because I just hadn't bought a lot of Barbados in a while, and I thought I needed to go revisit an old friend. Here it is, the Pelican. Just gorgeous, as you can see. We have a more classical approach right here, where all of our measurements seem to be in line with what you'd expect. But then we have the more cartoony background, and so it's a merger of two styles in a way, but it is a beautiful coin. And obviously, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know I have an unhealthy obsession with this seabird. I don't understand it. I'm trying to seek help. I've talked to some specialists about my obsession with this bird, but it seems to be that as of right now, there is no cure. So do not let me know if there's more pelican coins out there, because my wife will punch me for spending more money. Next, we are breaking into number 11, which once again, we go to Barbados. Here we have it. The obverse looks very similar to what we've just seen, but the reverse, we have a animal here in the octopus. This is probably going to be the Caribbean reef octopus, as it is the most plentiful in that area, and it is actually prized in cuisine down there. Having had octopus twice, once in a really good way and the other in a Asian buffet way, I can tell you that there is a big difference in the quality depending on who's cooking it. So be careful when ordering octopus. But yes, here we have a Caribbean octopus of some kind. My guess is the Caribbean reef octopus. What I particularly love is how it's interacting with this ring in the legend. Just gorgeous there. Let's put him back. And now we break into the top 10. Coming in at number 10, we have a classic from the past. Once again, with the nation here of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, we can see that we have a dinosaur. This is a marine reptile called the Liopleurodon. And the Liopleurodon is another scary thing that lived in the water. You see an ichthyosaur over here. This is one of those dinosaurs that him and his cousins basically were the alphas in the water. Nobody was going to mess with them as long as they were, decently close to their full size. Huge mouth there. So you would have seen mosasaurs, what we would consider short-necked plesiosaurs, basically. So the tylosaurs, the chronosaurs, that all were different versions of this Liopleurodon in size and stature, lived in mostly coastal waters around the mega continent at that time. So yeah, you're just not going to be safe. It's not a fun place to live. As you can see, we have 160 to 180-ish million years ago, which I haven't looked at a yearbook from back then, but I'm sure it's just full of teeth and scales. Number 9, we go to right here, the nation of Niue, which is a island nation in the Pacific that is known for putting out just fantastic different themes throughout the year. And here we have the icon. This is a series that I think just recently featured Van Gogh. It takes cultural world icons from different eras, and it superimposes the icon logo on top of a image. And in fact, this one is going to be a portrait of Her Majesty, as you see. And depending on which way you look at it, you'll either see the icon or you'll see the Queen. I know here on camera you only get a short glimpse of what that actually looks like because it doesn't quite refract in the eye the same way. But do understand it's a really cool coin, and this little circle right here is actually the capsule. If I were to take that off, you would not see it. But it is really, really cool low mintage coin, and it has the effigy of Her Majesty and the designation of being iconic, which is cool. Coming in at number 8, we go back to Africa, if I can find it here. There it is. And this is my favorite nation in Africa for bullion coins, in Rwanda. As you can see, the double Z basket right here, that's the one that I want in my house one day before my days are done. I absolutely love many things about Rwanda, but this is their lunar series, and they do it in a mosaic. This is the lunar dragon. As you can see, we have mosaic. That is their calling card for their lunar series. We have different textures just all over the place. Gorgeous coin, as always, or I would not have bought it. But it is a cool little lunar here, and one that actually doesn't have a mintage on it, so I have no idea how many of these will be minted. But I needed a lunar coin for the year, and this is the one I chose, mostly because I was tired of waiting on the Royal Australian Mint one to be available to me, but it is fantastic. Coming in at number 7, we go to Australia, and a coin that I've held off on for a couple of years, and then this year saw it and said, that's the one, Marv. That's the one I want. If you don't know that quote, that's from Home Alone. But yeah, very similar here as we have come to recognize, except for we do have the years of her reign, signifying that this is the coin that ends the cycle with her face. But one cool thing about it is it's kind of like a privy mark, because we're not going to see that ever again, and we did not see it before this year of 2022 going into 23. And so it's kind of the end, which means this will be the only Brumby that has that. And this Brumby is really cool because there's 2 of them. They're both running, doing Brumby things. And what I love is also the canyon and grass in the foreground. Just beautiful textures. And in fact, that canyon reminds me of the canyon that's lower below the kookaburra flying. And so it's almost like 2 scenes in one there. Gorgeous coin, my first Brumby ever, and that one comes in top 10 at number 7. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 is right here. Just amazing. This is the Icons of Inspiration series. This is the obverse of the coin, and isn't the obverse just gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Niue is the island, once again a Pacific island. Absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite obverses ever. Just gorgeous. So this is a muse here. And I believe we have in its hand a star, which completes the cycle of stars, which, symbolizes light and inspiration and knowledge. And on the back, this one is Shakespeare. Just gorgeous there. And the Globe Theater right there in the foreground. We have Shakespeare. We got a little quote action. We've got stars in the background. We've got the, what would you call that? The Earth right there. It looks like it's South America here and the Earth, which is one thing. I was like, well, I don't understand why you would choose South America as being seen, as you have, 1, a Pacific Island nation, and 2, the subject matter, who was definitely an Englishman. So that's the interesting part. But this was a fun video to make, by the way. If you're interested, you're a Shakespeare fan, that's one for you. Alrighty, going into number 5, top 5, we go to the island of Samoa. This is an antiqued coin from Samoa. It is gorgeous as always. 2 tala. And it is the Jesus the Teacher coin. This is a Byzantine style art form. The teacher, he's got the book open, and we have the Byzantine Greek of Alpha and Omega, as in I am the Alpha and Omega, or I'm the first and the last, right? We also have a really cool Byzantine art form hand sign, which I go over in my video, as well as the other things like the ring around the head, which is a very, very strong calling card for Byzantine art. So it's really, really cool. Fantastic video to make. Even if you're not a religious person, there's beautiful history to be learned in that. But yeah, that's a cool one. Very low mintage. And now we get to number 4. Number 4, we go to Australia again. And it's going to be my first ever of this coin. Most of these coins are already selling for more than I bought them for, by the way. We have the Years of Her Reign designation here, which once again, it's kind of like a rookie card or a privy, as there's only going to be 1 year of those. And we have the Quokka, which I would have said Quokka if I hadn't read the comments section the first time I said the name and learned that it was Quokka, like guacamole. But it is a cool little creature from Ratnus Island, which is right off of the coast of Australia. Though there are a couple little populations in Australia, most of them are on Ratnus Island, or Rottnest Island, I should say. But it's a cool little rodent type thing. I don't remember. It might be a marsupial, actually, not a rodent, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. But it was popularized by selfies and celebrities, much to the disdain of the local population. Cool animal, though, and cool story. Coming in at number 3. Number 3, we have the classic Kookaburra. This is the 2024 Kookaburra, one of the coolest versions I've ever seen. Once again, we have that canyon we talked about in the Brumby right there in the background. But we have a Kookaburra holding a snake. And I had paused about seeing this image and said, there's no way that Kookaburra didn't carry no snake in real life. And I did some research and actually saw a video of the Kookaburra carrying snakes, eating snakes, beating them upon the rocks, and basically just being a street gang of sorts towards snakes. So that being said, yeah, this is a real image you could see, with the exception of, most likely, as that snake is obviously still alive, it would have been holding that snake by the head, not in the middle of the body, so that it didn't get bit. But that is a gorgeous, gorgeous coin. I love the new designs that they've started doing the last couple of years, where it's not just a bar in the legend. They actually incorporate cool font and kind of let it blend into the background. So that is number 3. Number 2, we stay in Australia for this. All right, camera. There we go. We're having a good time here, right? So this is 1952 to 2022. That's the Years of Her Reign. Once again, the Queen. It's a 2023 Sydney Opera House. Just fantastic. I know this is one that I think flew under the radar for so many. Right up here in the 50, you have the aerial view of the building. I don't know why it's not focusing, but that's the aerial view of the building, kind of. And then you have the actual building itself here. You have the radial lines and almost a different set of lines down here, I guess, to incorporate the ocean of the harbor. But I have seen this coin in hand and just fell in love with it. I think it is one of the most fantastic coins. We don't get enough of the architecture in coins. We get a lot of animals, which I love, by the way, but we don't get architecture. And I feel like there's so much to be celebrated in architecture in the world, unless you live in a place like I do, where every building is just brown and square, that we need to highlight things like this to remind ourselves of human ingenuity and the honoring of such beauty of shape and form in the places that we live in. And in this case, go to watch people perform. So that is the number 2, which leads us to number 1, which is right here. Another one from the Icons of Inspiration. So number 1 coin of the year as of June 2024 is this. There's the obverse and here's the reverse. Johann Gutenberg. I cannot tell you how amazing this coin is in the hand. The level of texture, the quality, it is just stunning and fantastic. So Johann is seen here with the pages of the Gutenberg, and my guess, Bible right here. His printing press here. We have the script running through the background. It is just accurately done. And if you don't know about Gutenberg, you might want to watch my video. In fact, he has ties to bullion because his father was a mint master, which is really, really cool and might have been what led him to understand the process of printing, as back then the printing was a press. He invented a press, and back then coins would have been done in a pressing type fashion. Obviously different medium, different materials, different type of press, but that was the world he would have grown up in and been an apprentice in before he decided, hey, I got a little bit of an idea. Maybe it'll be something that sticks. And turns out it was one of the most important ideas in the history of the world. So hats off to you, Mr. Gutenberg. There are other coins in this series like Madame Curie, I believe Nikola Tesla. I can't remember. He might be one. No, it's Edison. They chose Edison. Now, why would you choose Edison? I get it, but I don't get it. Tesla was the guy. Edison was kind of the dude who wanted to make money off of the guy. So neither here nor there. That's a story for a different video, but that is what we have. I hope you've enjoyed our ride so far this year, month 6, into World Bullion Coins, which means the next 6 months we get to add on to this and add on to our collection and grow it to something even bigger. But that is what we have today. Please stay tuned as I'll be doing a State of the Stack video, and that will be going over all of my coins. I won't sit there for 2 hours and just do what we did today, but we will talk about how much I put into them and how much they make online based on what different online sources say. But it gives you an idea of just what with $100 what you can do as a collection and that type of thing. But that is what we have today. If you'd like to be a member, make sure you look at the join features. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. And as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.